When we will be going through managing change, one of the very important area one would have to think about, look at, is interventions. What interventions one should use in a particular set of change scenario. Interventions, in other words, is what methodology, what framework, what your way of managing change, how you would approach it. You can word it the way you want to, how you want to intervene to manage change, all of those things you can. So don't get worried by these terminologies like interventions, and what they essentially mean is that how you're going to go about managing change. What is your strategy? Are you using any frameworks? What are you taking from your past experiences? How you are collaborating with others? You are taking feedback. Whatever your methodology is going to be the way you will be intervening in the change scenario. What the way I understand it, this is how I understand it. But you are going to read the definitions of interventions and then see how you want to qualify the terminology. So for example, in this chapter, they are looking at which type of interventions to use. Yeah. So all the various models, theories, theoretical frameworks, the little ideas you are trying to explain in your individual assignments, all of those things, what they were in some way, they were some type of interventions. So in this chapter, they might not be looking at the interventions in themselves, because whatever models we have looked at, or you will be reading, as you are, I don't know where you are in the book, how far you have reached, but as you will be reading the book, all the methods, all the theoretical frameworks, you can use them as your intervention to manage change. Yes. So that is what this chapter is going to maybe highlight couple of things which you might want to consider, but I doubt if you would be looking at anything new in this chapter. But still, let's look at sequencing of intervention. Sequencing. So as there would be a lot of, as you would agree that there are so many different models in this book, and well, we are in our live discussions, we are looking at this book, but I'm sure you are looking at other recordings posted on RVLE, and there you are looking at the essential book, the prescribed text also. So in that book also you have so many different models. In this book also you have, any book you will pick up, they are going to give you different models to which you can implement as you are going through change scenario. Yes. So the sequencing, which one would come first, what you want to do first, what you want to do second, what you want to do third, that is also very important. The sequence of activities. Yes, so I was saying the sequencing of activities, that is very important. What should come first, what should come second, what should come third. So for example, maybe you are looking at some model in which they are saying that communication is very important, essential step. When you are trying to manage change in other people, you want to really take care of how you communicate. Yeah. So maybe before even you start the model or the theoretical framework or the step one of the model you are using, you might want to do something about communication. Maybe you would want to communicate to the people how you will be communicating, or you want to ask them, take their feedback, how what is the best way to communicate with them for you, maybe that. Yeah. But please be mindful of taking feedback, because if once you take feedback and you don't implement that, then it is going to be a challenge. People are not going to like it. They are not going to like it. Let's say, at the start of semester, I am deliberating that what time I should start, because I want to give you time in looking at the already posted material on RVLE. So I want to maybe give you 1 hour. Yes. So but I ask you what do you think? I am thinking that I should give you first hour, or first 1 hour, 15 minutes, 20 minutes to go through the already posted material on RVLE, your PowerPoints, prescribed text, or whatever. That is what I want to do. But you help me what time we should start. So now look at this. There are 50 people and they are going to say different things. Some will say, well, we can look at those recordings in some other time. You can start at 11. Some would say, well, maybe you should start at 12. Some would say, maybe you should start at 1. Some different people will have their different preferences. Maybe someone want to have the lunchtime free. Maybe someone is more fresh if we start at 11. Different things would come up. So I take that feedback and then I would make a decision. But the people whose opinion is not incorporated, they will never maybe say it, but in their heart somewhere they might even not know. But even without knowing, they will not feel good about it. When we tell someone to do something and they don't do it the way we want them to do, generally speaking, we don't like it. And if we want to become a good change manager, it is very important to let go of that habit, that characteristic. So maybe when we ask someone to do something, okay, all right, maybe, let's say, who is here? Selena is here, for example. So I say, Selena, do this, let's do this. So I'm asking her to do something. Yes. So she says, well, we cannot do it like that, or, whatever she says. And I take it. I say, no, I get angry, I get upset. I say, no, Selena, you have to do this, and whatever I'm saying. Yes. So that approach is not going to help me change Selena's mindset or whatever she's trying to say. What I should do in ideal world, in theoretical framework, I should ask her that why she's thinking like that without getting upset. With a little smile on my face, I say, okay, Selena, all right. Why are you saying that? What is in your mind? What are your reservations? And try to understand what is in her mind without getting upset. So the idea here is that when someone disagrees with what you are saying, generally speaking, we take it against us. So if you don't agree with what I say, I would take that you don't agree with me. It is not me, essentially. It is one of my ideas. There might be so many other ideas which I have, which are my idea, and you would agree with me. But there can be many ideas which, based on your upbringing, based on how you view the world, you might say, all right, I'm listening to what you are saying, but maybe I don't agree with that. Another thought is coming in my mind, and my apology if I am diverting a little bit. How to disagree with someone? How to disagree with someone? I think we should talk a little bit about this. How to disagree with someone, because we are saying that I have an opinion and I am talking with anyone. I'm talking with Curtis, and he has a different point of view. And I say, Curtis, I don't agree with you. Have you thought that what are some of the best ways to disagree with people? I was listening to this guy. As a matter of fact, what a coincidence this is. I did not plan to share it, but it is last night I was listening to this guy. And he was saying that when you disagree with someone, like someone is going to say something and you want to disagree with them, you should maybe say that, well, I don't maybe agree with what you are saying, but I will think about it, what you said. So I don't agree with what you are saying. In a polite way, you are telling the person, I don't agree with what you are saying, but I will think about what you said. See, if I something and all of you have your own opinion, your own way of thinking, you have your own ideas. I'm not going to say something and you will change your viewpoint on that. Any topic, abortion, for example, you have your own ideas about abortion. I might say whatever I have to say. You have your idea, and you are going to stick with your idea. Yes. And just let's say you are pro-abortion. You say, well, abortion should be allowed. But let's say that is your argument, and I say no, abortion is not right. Will you change your idea on that? Not by just by saying. So that is what generally people would do, that they will hold their ideas and then hold them strongly. So based on what I have been reading over the years, top scholars who really think about these things, from their readings, what I can share with you, they are saying that hold strong ideas loosely. So you have a strong idea about anything, and it is your idea, you should protect it. It is your idea. This is your idea. So you are the owner of the idea. So yes, whatever it is, but try to hold it loosely. What we mean by loosely is that be open to what other people are saying, which is not what you think. You think otherwise, but listen to that. That is the purpose of education. Think about it. If you are going to hold your idea the way you are holding about any topic, and I tell you something and you are not going to listen to me, and you say, well, this is rubbish, I have my own idea, where will learning take place? How will you learn something new? How will you learn? Because you have your own ideas. What is the point of coming to this session now? There are just like 11 people right here. Yeah. Why to come here? If you already have made up your mind about things, and you are not open about discussion and listening to what other people say, or sharing your thoughts, which other people might not agree, if that spirit is not there, what is the point of all this? Whatever we are doing. I can simply, like, the PowerPoints are recorded and posted. That is it. There is no need of discussing book chapters. You can read them in your own time. Yes, the main ideas are already posted on our really. Yeah. So the point is that the learning is going to take place, that when you don't agree with someone, you tell them, or at least think in your head that, yes, I don't agree with what you are saying in principle, but I will think about it. Now you give yourself some time to think. And after carefully thinking, without any bias, without any prejudice, which is again very hard. We all have our biases. We all say we don't have bias, but we all have. Like, we all say there should be no discrimination, but we like people because we discriminate. We like certain characteristics in people. It can be their hair, it can be their accent, it can be their skin tone. No one supports it. Everyone is equal, yes, but deep down, these things are there. So the point I was trying to convey is that when you want to disagree, maybe you can tell the person that at this point in time, I don't necessarily agree with you, but I will think about it. Now, it is very hard to do it because you have your own belief. You have your own way of thinking, and you think you are right. All of us think that we are right. All of us. Is there anyone who thinks that, yes, can be wrong also? I always think like that, generally speaking. So that is why I say that I am sharing with my thoughts with you. You can have your own thoughts. There is nothing wrong in that. If you don't agree with what I'm saying, that is perfectly fine with me. But generally speaking, we all, in different situations, I also, in this situation, I'm saying this, but there are some situations in my life where I want other people, my friends, my whoever, I want them to agree with me, and I feel good when they agree with me. And I'm kind of not happy if they don't agree with me. But the point I'm trying to convey is that the change will not happen if you will get upset. If someone will say something and you just dash it away without taking a moment to think about it, and then really thinking about it. It can be, you don't have to think for days. It can be for 5 minutes, it can be for 10 minutes, it can be for a day. You sleep over it, maybe, think, give it a thought and see that what is the person saying. Does it make sense? Maybe the person is right. Think about, and after thinking, you can definitely disagree with the person and keep your stance. Whatever your stance was, you keep it that way. But if you will say that I will think about it over a period of time, you will see that your learning will improve. Otherwise, you have your mindset already, you have your thoughts already about various things in life. You have your own understanding of various things. If you will not listen to what other parties are saying, and you will get angry when you are trying to change someone and they are not listening, and you are saying they don't understand what I'm saying, and you are upset about it, which is generally what happens, then first of all, the person, of course, is not going to change because you are getting angry and upset. You are increasing your blood pressure. The situation is going out of your control. You did not learn anything from the situation. Of course, the other party is also not learning much from the situation. At least they are just having bad blood, nothing else, generally speaking, in loose terms. So the major idea here is that try it. This is just a thought. If you get a chance, you just try it. You just try it. Someone say something, and for example, let's take some example, because example is important. This recent incident again, about this girl, beautiful girl. What is the name? Hansi, something like that. So whatever happened there, so there is a sentiment about her in the society, generally speaking, and it is a very sad thing which happened. Very sad. Everyone is sad about it. It should not have happened, of course. But let's say, for argument's sake, God bless her, God bless the family. But we are trying to think about something. Yeah, so this is a recent example. So let's briefly want to talk about it. Let's say that someone says that, yes, what happened with Hansi is wrong. It should not have happened. Government should make laws to do whatever, and then they should be punished. That person should be this and that, whatever, all those things, which is perfectly fine. All those things should be done. Not saying they should not be done. More should be done. Yeah. But on the other side, where did our beloved Hansi, what mistake she made? Maybe I don't know. No, I'm not saying she made a mistake in anything, but I'm just saying, maybe reflect on it, that the things which she did, which are coming in media, where did she go wrong? Maybe she also made some mistake. If she would not have done that, maybe she would have been saved. Maybe someone is, let's say you feel very strongly about the incident and women protection and all of this, and this is not the first incident. This is again and again. It really is upsetting. It should not happen. Remember the girl from UV, the girl who could not see, and someone took her, and it's 1 year, and could not have been. We don't know where she is. It's very sad, and every now and then these things happen. Jasmine, thanks, Nikki. Jasmine, yes. Sorry, I'm forgetting the names. Thanks, Nikki. So these things are happening. So yes, the men are dogs. Okay, no problem. Men are not good in the society. That is fine. I have no problem with that argument. I support that argument. But on the other hand, no one is going to talk that maybe what Hansi did is something which she should not have done. Maybe because it is tough time, and she also died, and that is why no one is. But to our girls, yeah, many girls are sitting in our session here. To our girls now, maybe we should tell them that okay, what happened is wrong and everything, but there are some things which as a girl you also need to do. Maybe she was trusting the guy too much for whatever the reason was. And this is a change situation. See, the situation changed. She's trying to take a cab and she's trying to go somewhere, and then the change situation came where maybe I don't know what is truth or what is not. To be honest, I'm not even following the story too much because it is very upsetting. It is a sad situation have happened. So maybe she should not have trusted him too much, as maybe Nikki or someone is saying. Maybe to be more careful, maybe theoretically speaking, but then in practicality it is maybe hard to be that careful. Maybe it is hard, we don't know that. But what were some of the things maybe dear Hansi could have done? Maybe, protecting herself. Maybe she could have some, those sprays which a girl should keep sprays with them. Like, if something happens, spray the guy or whatever, maybe learn some self-defense. Yeah, why a girl should be able to manage 2 3 guys. It is possible if you learn some physical activity, some martial arts, something like that, self-defense. Sure, you can. Kickboxing, yes, Nikki, very good. Kickboxing, you can. Maybe, to deal with two three men, you should train yourself. Yeah, why not? So what I am trying to say is that in change situations, this thing will happen. Like, you are in some change and you are Khansi, and the other person did what they wanted to do, and you trusted them, their gut feeling, their knowledge, their wisdom. You trusted them and you said, yes, what you are suggesting me for this change, I am going to implement what you are saying because you have more knowledge, I trust you, whatever. And in the end, whatever the intervention, remember we are talking about, the chapter is intervention. Whatever intervention is going to be suggested, that will not work. And when that will not work, everyone would want to blame the person who suggested the intervention, not the person who maybe implemented it, because they are not taking responsibility. In simple words, in change management, take responsibility. You can listen to other people who are saying different things to you, that okay, I forgot something at my home, I need to go back to my home and get it, so I'm going back to home in the taxi, the Hansi situation. Yes, so you are going there, so now the ball is in your court also. And I'm not trying to be hard on her, of course, this should not have happened. But these things are happening again and again. So what is the now there are different terminologies about it, that the person is victim, you should not blame them, and I'm not blaming her at all. It should not have happened at all. Don't take me in a negative way. But what I'm trying to say is that, are there some things which Hansi in this case could have done, and what are those things? Did she do those things? Okay, she did not do it. Okay, what can we learn from her? As boys, as girls, as whatever, what can we learn from this situation? Because we are using the public transportation or whatever, and what can we learn? Can we learn something from this to save us? Should all girls keep some spray in their bag? Should they do it? Of course they should do it, and they should know how to use it. Be observant. Thanks very much, Brittany. I'm happy that you guys are not taking it in a negative way, and I'm not speaking against the victim or the girls. This should not be. Pepper spray, yes, thanks, Tanisha. Yes. Yeah, so there must be other things, a little self-defense, something like that, to prepare yourself if this thing happen, how you are going to react to this. Because if you are not prepared before the change, then change is going to take you, just like Hansi, because she was not prepared. It is not her fault. Maybe she did not think through it, whatever happened. But from that case, all the girls in Jamaica, what can they learn from that? This is what this, so learning. So this is the earlier point I was trying to make is that when you hold some opinion, for example, in this case the society holds the opinion that it is guy's fault, and yes, it is his fault. I made my comments about guys already, yes, but on the same scale, also think that the victim, the girl, what she could have done, not to belittle her, but to learn from this and then reevaluate our thinking, maybe think a little bit about it. If there must be some friends who don't agree with what I said, and I'm not saying it make you agree, I'm just giving you a thought and think about it. And then if after think you think that no, girls should not prepare themselves and it is guys fault and they should not do, or government should make laws and whatever, if that is your, you want to maintain that, that is also fine, but at least give it a thought. And if you agree, then spread the word in your the girls you meet, all the, you tell them, you do something about it. And then over a period of time, maybe then the guys will be more, careful, because they would know that, girls they know kickboxing, so I have to be careful about how I approach her, and all of that. But anyways, very sad situation, whatever happened in this situation of Hansi, very sad. And before that, Jasmine, very sad situation. But hope we can maybe, make some interventions in our life, especially as girls. And also boys, the other day I know of a situation where four guys stopped a man, a boy, four guys stopped a boy and did bad things with the guy. So guys did bad things with the guy. So it's not about girls anymore. This is what it is. Okay. So Kevin is saying some things here. Please, these please look into that. They have to value women, protect women, and treat women with more love and care. They try to force on a woman and she says no to whatever. They take offense. Yes. And we spoke about it a while ago. Don't know, but this is something which is in the culture. So it is going to take some time for it to change. as you understand, most likely it will not maybe change. So it is maybe high time that just like you are preparing yourself, like you are doing courses, you are doing undergraduate to prepare yourself for working environment, same way you need to prepare yourself physically or whatever, and whatever you need to do. So you need to think about it, because if something, God forbid, if something happens with one of us, then yes, it is the fault of culprit, but we also did not prepare well for the situation. We also somehow forget to anticipate what can go wrong. Anyways, I think I've gone more than what I thought. So, but please look at some valuable comments our friends have made in the chat. Please look at those and think and reflect, not just on that idea, but what I was trying to say, that any idea, you just, even if you don't agree with that, you just take a moment to reflect on that idea and think about it if you want to update your thinking. I think Kevin wants to really say something, so please, Kevin, go ahead.
Yes, sir. I've been trying to get a hand up.
Yes, please go ahead. Yes.
Quickly. I think women should stop taking stuff from men. These men, because I mean, I think probably that young lady, she got a ride. I guess she was picked up on a regular basis. I guess that person just offered her a ride and stuff, and then it takes its time to work in. So men generally prey on those stuff. So women have to be very careful of what they accept or get from men.
Of course. This is yes, this is very valuable point, Kevin. And some girls are in the session, and this is also, I also recorded it, so maybe hopefully other people will listen to it. So please, at least the people who are who are in the session, please be careful yourself also. Also the men, everyone, including myself, everyone. And yes, I was saying that we love our country and we would like to go wherever we want and do the things the way we want to do. We want to, it should not be like this. But it is not. It is not. It is not just Jamaica. Crime rate is not just high in Jamaica. In every country, in any country, if you are not careful, in every city, with all religions, with all ethnicities, with blacks, with whites, with Indians, with all of them. If you are not careful in their country, in their space, then there it is also somewhere it is your, or it is fault is maybe a wrong word, but you might have to face some consequences for that. But again, God bless the family, and the culprit should be given the highest penalty, whatever is possible. Anyways, factors indicating which interventions to use. Okay, this is important, so I'm going to read a little bit from here. Consideration is given first to those factors that need to be taken into account. Which interventions are likely to contribute most to achieving the goals of change program? The nature of problem or opportunity that the intervention has to address, you need to look at that, the nature of problem and opportunity. Yes. And then the level of change targets, the depth of intervention required, how much time is available for you in the situation, because change would generally maybe require some amount of time for people to adapt and adopt, unless it is some change where you can influence with your power. Otherwise you would want to give some time for people to adjust and think about those things. So that is one thing. And then the efficacy of different type of change. Yes, so these things, if you can recall, we have spoken about these things in the earlier discussions. Burke and Litwin model, if you remember, they are talking about that also in the chapter. Let me show you a little bit, and so it is easier for you to pick up when you are reading this one. The 12 elements of the Burke-Litwin model could provide a basis for classifying issues in this way. Um, and then coming and Worley, his classification of intervention is also there. They have 4 broad types. Human process, for example. Yes, if you remember, it was something which we discussed in earlier classes, where you remember the 4 boxes. One was linked with human, one was technology, one was human resource, and one was strategic issues. I think it was the last class where you looked at it. It was in a box format, but in this chapter they are just writing it down for you. Read this with a little care. The 3-dimensional model to aid choices. Please read this section, all of this. I can take you through with maybe uh, one or two pictures. Yeah, it might look very complex picture, but it's very simple diagram. So don't get afraid or anything that, oh, the picture has so many things, what is happening? Nothing is happening. It is just 3-dimensional model. One dimension is this. 3 dimensions, you are looking at the change situation in 3 dimensions. So this is on the left hand side, the level. On the bottom, diagnosed issue. What the issue is about? Is it human resource? Is it technology issue? Is it human resource issue? Is it strategic issue? So these are four different areas where you want to look at it. And then the depth, how deep you want to go in your intervention, how much you want to implement it. It is on this side. So individual level, and then the group level, and then the intergroup level, and then the organization level. You are seeing that it is from individual, it is going to a group of people, and then all the way to the organizational wide change. So let's say you want to implement some human resource change. So individually you want to put some human resource change by training or something like that, or maybe just by talking. In group way you want to do that, in intergroup way you want to do that, or you want to implement the human resource change on the organizational level, and how deep you want to go. That is what these pictures are saying. So they just have 3 dimensions. You just want to make note of that. One is here on the left hand side, one is in the bottom. Whatever they say, you just read that, and then you go in the depth, how shallow or how deep it is, how deep you want to go in the intervention. Because think about it, if it is human resource, you might not want to go very deep, and you think the individual is not fit for the work. Remember, we were having I think Kevin was in the earlier days, Kevin was giving some example, and he maybe raised some question, and we were saying that the good fit is very important for any job. So maybe you find that the person is not good fit, and you will just stay shallow, and you will just get rid of that person, and you will find someone who is fit. It can be that, or you might see that this person has potential, and you want to go deep with the person, and you want to give them all the resources and whatever. But be mindful, it will take time if you want to do that. Similarly, you are going to, in your own time, you are going to look into the pictures. Let me look at this picture, because it is a little different in the sense that the way they have arrows. So look at this. This is on the left hand side, it is level, individual. So for individual, if you are trying to maybe get more work from them as an individual level, you are maybe looking at job enrichment. It is from your organizational behavior course, MGMT 2008, job enrichment. You are enriching their job by some experiences which they would like to have, or they fancy in their job, or whatever. On the other hand, organizational level, you might want to downsize because of cutting costs, because of keeping only the right talent, only the useful talent, and so on. Yeah. And then you can think in the last picture, the depth was over here at the somewhere in the bottom. In this picture, they have it on the top, so nothing to really worry about it. So downsizing would be some relatively easy practice. It's not easy per se, because downsizing has many implications on job. You must have learned about that in your human resource management course, like what are the best practices when you are downsizing. But then if you want to go deep, you are looking at Bpr. What is Bpr? I asked you to read about it in the last class, and I showed you some example also. Business processes, I think, something like that. TQ, what is TQM? I think it is total quality, or and what is TQM? I think it is total quality management and business process something, re-engineering, business process re-engineering, I think. So that, or then if you want to go deep, high involvement organizations. What are high involvement organizations? You might want to run a Google search on this and then read about it. And then if you have started working, you want to think that is your organization high involvement or organization, where people are involved in a way that they enjoy their job, that they like their job, they are not just doing it for the sake of sake of money and those things. Yes, money and salary is important, but not just that. They are highly involved in all the things which the company is doing. So this way you are going to look at these pictures, please, and just reflect on them. Um, Two additional factors which might influence choice of intervention. One is time available to implement change. We have spoken it many times. Efficacy of intervention. We spoke about that also. And in the efficacy section, they are talking about various things. For example, they are talking about job design. They are talking about total quality management, as they referenced it in the picture also. One of the picture we just saw. Look at this. Occasions where there is a need to use more than one type of interventions. If you can recall, in the early part of the discussion, we were talking about sequencing. What should be the sequence of various interventions? Number one, number two, number three. You want to be mindful of that. Pay attention to this, because I think Tanisha raised a question about change agent, which we all of should reflect in our own time also, in the last discussion. So please reflect on that whenever you get the time. Look at this. The change agent has to decide whether to pursue all of them simultaneously or to sequence them in some way. So it does not has to be that you definitely have to sequence them, because there are many activities which you want to do simultaneously, and then that makes things easier. Let's take some example. For example, you are taking 5 courses. So if you had to do sequence them, that first you need to do this, well, you are sequencing that also because you have prerequisite for courses. But what I'm trying to say, that you are doing these 5 courses, 6 courses, 4 courses simultaneously. So that now you have to manage all 5 courses together. So you have more workload and you have to manage your time and so on. So same is with the change. If you will do things simultaneously, it will be taking like 5 courses in a semester. And then if you are taking if you are doing sequence and you are doing just 1 courses in one semester, then maybe it will be better. But that is not true in the reality of the world, because it is more about how you manage the change situation. You are sometimes there is a need for an early success. So you want to ensure that if it is possible, you get some early success, because it is in the change situation. It will motivate your colleagues, it will motivate yourself also. You are seeing some results, so you are happy about it. Like, early success, like in the coursework you guys did pretty well, so that is kind of early success. So now it is kind of motivating you maybe, and you say, all right, if I work a little bit hard, I can get a better, decent score out of 100 in this course. It don't look very difficult. On the other hand, if you don't get very good score in the coursework, and your morale might be, you might be demoralized, and then you are thinking that it is very difficult, and the more you think about it, uh, it becomes more difficult, and then different things are happening. But again, this is very person specific. You can't generalize these things, because I have seen that some friends don't perform well in the coursework. They hardly pass, and then they work all the way very hard. I don't know what they do, and they just get very high score in the finals also. Yeah, so different things you might want to think in this sequence of activities, or you want to do simultaneously. You just want to think about what are the advantages and disadvantages of both in your change situation, and then move from that. The more experience you will have, the better your decision would be. But don't overrate experience, because sometimes we gain more experience in something and then we become very comfortable and we think it will not go wrong because we are experienced and so on. And then you can get into trouble. Yes. Look into the summary section. That is all for this chapter.